Hey, welcome to my Desi-licious kitchen. This is Shehzadi Devji, registered dietitian, and today we're cooking quinoa pilau and making dinner time super easy, especially with back to school season just round the corner. So pilau is actually a South Asian dish commonly made with white rice, basmati rice, and you can use either chicken or an array of vegetables. We're actually turning things up a notch in the kitchen and using quinoa instead. Now, quinoa has an incredible nutritional profile. It's rich in protein, loaded with fiber, vitamins and minerals, and we're actually going to bring the rainbow on your plate. So in my pan, I've actually started frying the onions and garlic in a little bit of olive oil. So we don't want to overcook and burn the onions and garlic, otherwise they'll start releasing that bitter flavor. So once they're golden, we're actually gonna go in with some tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. We're actually using all wholesome, fresh ingredients. And here we go with a sizzling action. And then we're also going in with some sweet red bell pepper. Feel free to vary things up if you prefer green, orange, or yellow pepper, that's absolutely fine. I tend to use some of the sweeter vegetables because the kids just love them. So we're going to stir and cook these veggies to make them a little bit soft. We want to fry them a little bit and release some of those flavors. We like to keep our veggies a little bit on the crunchy side so that they're still jam-packed with nutrition. So once our vegetables are nicely cooked for a couple of minutes, so I'm actually on medium to high heat, and you can hear all the sizzling action going on. And once the tomatoes are a bit soft, we're going to be adding one small green chili to give us a bit of a spicy kick. So feel free to opt out of that if you're not a chili fan, but if you like a bit of heat, you can certainly increase and add a couple more. So we're keeping it a little on the mild side because I'm cooking for the family here. And then once the chilies are in, we're going to go in with the dry spices and salt. So we're starting with the salt. There's 1.5 teaspoons of salt in this. And what's great is because we're using an array of spices, we can go easy on the salt. And we're going to go in with a tang with the lime juice at the end. So herbs and spices are such an awesome way to bring flavor and color and added nutrition, so you're not worrying about high salt. So we're also going in here with some cumin, some coriander powder, just delicious, and then a dash of garam masala. So garam masala, actually garam means hot and masala is spice. And garam masala is a combination of various spices such as cinnamon and cloves and black cardamom. And when we talk about heat or hotness, we're not necessarily talking about a chili factor, but rather in Ayurvedic medicine, heat refers to heating up your body. So garam masala is a great way to bring a boost of nutrition and flavor to our delicious quinoa, because oftentimes people think, quinoa is a little on the bland side. What can we do to bring out some intense flavor? So with these spices, it's all going to help. And then once our spices are fried a little bit, again, we want to go easy on the heat and not overdo it, otherwise it will become bitter. We're going to be adding in some steamed, cooked green beans. I've just steamed them literally for 5 minutes on the stove to bring that crunch and some color into my pan. Certainly, they will continue to cook further with the quinoa and the stock. But here we've got some green beans. And then these are already cooked black beans that are going in the 2 cups worth. So heaps of protein and fiber to keep those hungry tummies fuller for longer. Gonna give that a good stir. I wish you could smell this in my kitchen. It's just incredible with the spices and all the vegetables. And then once this is nicely stirred, so remember a lot of this stuff is already cooked. We don't want to cook it too much and break the beans in pieces. And then we're going to go in with our quinoa. So I've actually soaked the quinoa overnight. And that's key because we don't want to be spending too much time in the kitchen, and it cuts the cooking time, but also it's easier to digest because the water has actually softened the outer layer of the quinoa. So here is our soaked quinoa. You can see these beautiful beads, and they're going in next. I'm going to put, this is 2 cups worth of quinoa. And it might not seem too much, but you know, it certainly expands once the fluid goes in and it cooks. So after the quinoa, we're going to go in with our unsalted vegetable stock. Again, going easy on the salt because there's tons of spice and good flavors. So this is our 2 cups worth of vegetable stock going in. I'm going to give this a good stir and make sure everything is combined well. And all that's left to do is cover this and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Wow, the aroma in the kitchen is just incredible. So I'm using my fork just to check that the quinoa is nice and fluffy and everything is cooked, and it just looks delicious and smells amazing. And we're going to finish off with a squeeze of lime juice. I'm just going to throw in there, and then garnish with some fresh cilantro. So this is just chopped fresh cilantro. Lots of deliciousness going on. Give it a stir, so be gentle because we don't want to break up the quinoa. It's really nicely cooked. And you can find the complete recipe on shehzadidevji.com. And this is our vegetable quinoa pilau, or what we like to call at home, qui-lau.